Welcome, my friend. Today, I want to ask you one simple but powerful question. Are you living your life or are you wasting it? Think for a moment. Some people live with meaning. They learn something new every day. They help others. They grow step by step. At the end of the day, they feel proud. Their heart is full. They know that their life is moving forward. But other people live in another way. They waste their hours in front of a screen. They sleep without energy, and they wake without plans. They repeat the same empty day again and again. Their heart feels heavy. Their mind feels empty. And slowly, regret begins to grow inside them. Which life do you want? The life of meaning or the life of waste? This story, this lesson, is not only about success and motivation, it is also about your English. When you waste your time, you close doors. But when you learn, when you practice, when you build even one small skill, you open doors. You open the door to better work. You open the door to travel. You open the door to confidence. You open the door to a life without limits. Learning English is not only about grammar or vocabulary. It is about growth. It is about not wasting your chance to make your world bigger. Every English word you learn is a seed. If you plant the seed and water it with daily practice, one day it grows into a tree. That tree will give you fruit for your whole life. But if you throw away your seeds, if you never plant them, you will stand hungry under an empty sky. I want you to see this clearly. Wasting life is easy. It feels soft and warm in the moment. But in the end, it is cold and painful. Living fully is harder. It takes discipline. It takes courage. But in the end, it is bright, strong, and full of joy. So as you listen to this story, and as you practice English with me today, I ask you to make a decision. Do not waste your life. Do not waste your chance. Take this time and make it a step. A step for your English. A step for your mind. A step for your dream. Because this is not only a story. This is also a mirror. It is a mirror for your own life. When you listen, listen with your heart. When you repeat, repeat with your mouth. When you learn, learn with your future in mind. So, my dear friend, let us walk together. Let us choose not to waste time, not to waste life, not to waste the gift that is inside us. Let us begin a journey together. A journey to learn English and to learn life. My friend, let me tell you a story. It is a simple story, but maybe you will see yourself inside it. It is the story of a young man named Daniel. Daniel is not a bad person. He is not evil, not cruel, not dangerous. He is simply empty. His days are empty, his mind is empty, and slowly, his heart also becomes empty. Every morning, Daniel wakes up late. The sun is already high, but he is still in bed. His phone is in his hand. He checks his messages, he watches short videos, he scrolls and scrolls. Hours pass, but nothing changes. His body is lying down and his mind is asleep, even though his eyes are open. At noon, Daniel feels hungry. He eats quickly, maybe noodles, maybe bread, maybe just snacks. He eats without thinking. He does not talk to anyone. He does not thank anyone. He just eats, and then he returns to his phone. The afternoon comes. Some people are working, some people are studying, some people are learning English step by step. But Daniel is still on his screen. He laughs for a moment, then he feels bored, then he laughs again. Time disappears, but he does not notice. Evening comes. Daniel says to himself, I will start tomorrow. But when tomorrow arrives, the story is the same. Sleep late, scroll again. Eat without meaning. waste more hours. And every night Daniel feels a small pain inside. It is not sharp, but it is heavy. He feels tired, not only in his body, but in his spirit. Do you know this feeling? The feeling that time is passing, but you are not moving. The feeling that the world is running, but you are standing still. That is the empty life. The empty life feels easy now. It feels soft, like a warm bed, like sweet candy, like a slow, lazy day. But tomorrow it feels heavy. Tomorrow it tastes bitter. Because wasted hours become wasted days. Wasted days become wasted months. And wasted months become wasted life. Daniel says to himself, I am still young. I have time. But every person says the same. And then, suddenly years pass. You look in the mirror and you see that time has gone. You see that your dream has not moved. You see that your chance has become smaller. This is the danger of the empty life. It does not hurt today. It hurts tomorrow. It does not shout loudly. It whispers slowly. It does not steal your life in one day. It steals it little by little until one day you wake up and there is nothing left to build with. Let us compare two people. One chooses the easy way, like Daniel. The other chooses a harder way. The first one spends 2 hours on games, 2 hours on TV, and 2 hours on social media. The second one spends 1 hour reading, 1 hour studying English, and 1 hour helping someone. After one day, the difference is small. But after 1 year, the difference is huge. The first person feels regret. The second person feels proud. And regret is heavy. Regret is the heaviest stone a person can carry. You can forget pain, you can forget failure, but regret does not leave easily. Regret lives in your heart and whispers, you could have done more. You could have tried. You could have lived. That is why the empty life is not truly easy. It looks easy, but it is a trap. It gives comfort now, but it takes joy later. It gives pleasure today, but it takes meaning tomorrow. I want you to see Daniel's story clearly. Not because Daniel is unique, but because Daniel is many people. He can be your neighbor. He can be your friend. He can be you. But remember, my friend, this story is not finished. The empty life is not the only life. Daniel does not need to stay empty. You do not need to stay empty. Every person has a chance to change. Every person has a chance to stand up and say, no more wasted days. No more wasted years. I will not throw away my life because life is not a toy. Life is not endless. Life is a gift, and a gift must be used, not wasted. So if you feel that some of your days are empty, do not be afraid. Do not feel shame. You are not alone. But you must wake up. You must choose. You must say, I will fill my life with action, with learning, with growth. Daniel's story is a warning, but it can also be a beginning. It can remind us that time is more valuable than gold, more valuable than money, more valuable than comfort. When you waste time, you waste life. When you protect time, you protect life. So, my dear friend, do not wait until regret comes. Do not wait until years are gone. Begin today. Begin with one small step. Even listening to this story now is not a waste. It is a step. It is a seed. It is a sign that you want more. And that desire, that hunger for more, can change everything. Because life does not need to stay empty. There is another path. My friend, sometimes life is quiet. It feels soft and slow, like a dream that never ends. But then, one day, something happens. A sound, a word, a story, or an image shakes us. It is like a bell that rings loudly in our heart. It is a wake-up call. Daniel, the young man from our last story, lived many empty days. He thought they were normal. He thought he had time. But one evening, something changed. Daniel was sitting in a small shop, drinking a soda and staring at his phone. Outside, the air was warm. Cars passed by, children laughed, people walked home from work. Daniel did not notice them. His eyes were on the screen. His world was small, just pixels and sounds. Then he heard a voice. It was an old man talking to the shopkeeper. The old man said, "Did you hear about James?" He was only 25. Yesterday, he died in an accident. Daniel's head lifted. His hands froze. 25? James? Daniel remembered James from school. They were the same age. They were boys together, running in the same yard, laughing in the same classroom. And now, James was gone. In that moment, Daniel felt something heavy and sharp inside him. His chest tightened. His mind repeated the words, "Only 25. Only 25. Only 25. He thought, James is gone, and I am still here. But what am I doing with my time? Am I living, or am I just breathing? That night, Daniel could not sleep. He lay in his bed, staring at the ceiling. His phone was next to him, but he did not touch it. For the first time in many months, his mind was not empty. It was alive. It was asking questions. If my life ended today, would I be proud? If I left this world tomorrow, what would I leave behind? Would anyone remember me as a man who lived with meaning, or only as a boy who wasted hours? These questions were like fire. They burned his laziness. They burned his excuses. They burned his comfort. The next morning, Daniel woke up early. He walked outside. The sun was rising. The sky was red and gold. He saw the world with new eyes. The trees looked brighter. The air smelled stronger. The birds sang louder. It was the same world, but it felt different. He was awake. Before, Daniel was blind. He did not see the value of life. He thought days were cheap, like water, like sand. But now he understood. Days are not cheap. Days are diamonds. Days are a treasure. And every day wasted is a diamond thrown into the dirt. That is what a wake-up call does. It shakes you. It makes you see clearly. It is like a light turned on in a dark room. Before, you did not see the mess. But when the light comes, you see everything. You cannot ignore it anymore. Some people get a wake-up call when they see a friend succeed. Imagine this. One boy spends hours wasting time. Another boy, the same age, works hard. He studies English, he learns skills, he builds habits. After 3 years, the first boy is still stuck, but the second boy has a good job, confidence, and respect. That difference can wake the first boy. He sees, if he can do it, maybe I can too. I must not waste more time. Others get a wake-up call when they hear a story of regret. An old man on his deathbed says, I wish I had tried. I wish I had learned. I wish I had lived. Those words can enter your heart like arrows. They remind you, life is short. Do not wait until the end to see clearly. My friend, maybe you have already had a wake-up call. Maybe you are having one now as you listen to these words. Maybe you feel that fire in your chest, the fire that says, I want more. I will not waste my chance. If you feel it, do not run away. Hold it. Protect it. That fire is the beginning of change. That fire is the sound of your soul waking up. Because change does not begin with action. It begins with awareness. You cannot change what you do not see. You cannot fix what you do not notice. First, you must open your eyes. First, you must say, yes, I see the problem. Yes, I see the waste. Yes, I see the time slipping away. Awareness is painful. It is easier to stay asleep. Sleep is comfortable, but sleep is also dangerous. If you never wake up, you never live. So, do not fear the wake-up call. It may hurt, but it also heals. It may shock you, but it also saves you. It may bring tears, but it also brings hope. Daniel's story is not only about him, it is about you. It is about me. It is about every person who wants more but forgets to act. When the wake-up call comes, do not close your ears. Do not close your eyes. Do not go back to sleep. Stand up. Listen. See. Feel. Because the wake-up call is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the first step toward a new life, a full life, a meaningful life. Welcome back, my friend. We have seen the empty life and we have felt the wake-up call. Now we must look at the next step, taking responsibility. When the fire of awareness begins to burn, you face a choice. You can keep blaming the world, or you can stand up and say, "This is my life. I am the one who must change it." Let me share with you the story of two young people. Their names are Daniel and Aaron. They are the same age. They live in the same town. They both feel the wake-up call. But what they do next is very different. Daniel looks at his past and says, "Yes, I wasted time. Yes, I stayed lazy. But it is my fault, and I will change." He feels pain, but he also feels power. He knows he cannot change yesterday, but he can change today. He begins to take small steps. He wakes earlier. He opens a book. He practices English words, even if only 5 each day. He is not perfect, but he is moving. Aaron, on the other hand, also feels the fire. But instead of turning it into action, he turns it into excuses. He says, "I want to change, but my family never helped me. I want to study, but my school was not good. I want to grow, but life is unfair. It is not my fault." Every day, Aaron finds someone or something to blame. One day, it is the government. One day, it is his teacher. One day, it is his friends. His words are full of excuses, and his heart is full of bitterness. The difference between Daniel and Aaron grows quickly. Daniel feels stronger because every step gives him more control. Aaron feels weaker because every excuse takes his power away. Daniel is learning to carry his life like a man carries his bag, with effort but also with dignity. Aaron is throwing his bag onto others and shouting, "Why don't you carry it for me?" My friend, life is like a mirror. If you smile, it smiles back. If you cry, it cries with you. If you take responsibility, life gives you power. If you run from responsibility, life gives you regret. Taking responsibility is not easy. It means you must look honestly at yourself. It means you must say, "Yes, I made mistakes. Yes, I wasted time. Yes, I was lazy." But when you say these words, you are free. You are no longer a prisoner of excuses. You are the driver of your life, not the passenger. Think of it this way. Imagine a garden. If the garden is full of weeds, you can blame the rain, you can blame the soil, you can blame the sun. But the weeds will not leave. They will grow bigger. Only when you say, "This is my garden. I must take care of it," do you begin to pull the weeds and plant new seeds. Your life is your garden. Your time is your garden. Your English learning is also your garden. You can waste time blaming your teacher, your country, your parents, your past, but none of that will remove the weeds. Only you can pull them out. Daniel understood this truth. That is why his life began to change. He said, "I will not wait for others to push me. I will push myself." And every time he chose action instead of excuse, his power grew. Aaron did not understand. He kept saying, "It is not my fault." And because of that, nothing changed. His weeds grew taller. His heart grew heavier. His fire slowly became smoke, and his dream became dust. My friend, which one are you more like today? Be honest with yourself. Do you carry responsibility or do you throw it away? Do you say, I must try, or do you say, it is not my fault? Taking responsibility does not mean you must do everything alone. No, you can ask for help. You can learn from teachers, from books, from friends. But the first step is yours. You must open the book. You must listen to the story. You must decide, I will not waste my life. When you take responsibility, even mistakes become lessons. You no longer say, I failed because of them. You say, I failed, but I can do better next time. That small change of words is powerful. It is the line between weakness and strength. Remember this. Excuses feel soft today, but they are hard tomorrow. Responsibility feels hard today, but it is soft tomorrow. Excuses give comfort now and pain later. Responsibility gives pain now and comfort later. So choose wisely. Choose the path of Daniel, not Aaron. Choose the path of ownership, not blame. Choose the path of strength, not weakness. Because once you take responsibility, you stand on solid ground. You can build, you can grow, you can learn English, improve your skills, and create a future that is truly yours. So, my dear friend, do not wait. Say to yourself now, this is my life. This is my time. I will not waste it. I will take responsibility today. And once we take responsibility, we need to build discipline. Welcome back, my friend. You have seen the power of responsibility. You now know that your life is your own garden and only you can care for it. But once you accept responsibility, a new challenge appears. That challenge is discipline. Discipline is not easy. It feels heavy. It feels uncomfortable. It asks you to do what you do not want to do. But without discipline, responsibility is only words. Discipline turns responsibility into action. Let me tell you another story about Daniel and Aaron. After Daniel chose responsibility, he tried to change his days. He set a small plan. He said, each morning I will wake early. I will study English for 30 minutes. I will walk outside for 20 minutes. I will read one page of a book. These habits were not big. They were small, but they were clear. Aaron, meanwhile, also said he wanted to change. But when the morning came, he stayed in bed. When the afternoon came, he opened his phone and scrolled for hours. When the evening came, he watched endless TV shows. He told himself, tomorrow I will change. But tomorrow never came. This is the difference between discipline and distraction. Discipline is like planting seeds every day. You may not see the fruit quickly, but one day a tree grows. Distraction is like throwing your seeds into the fire. You may feel warm for a moment, but you are left with nothing. Think of your own life. How many hours do you spend scrolling on your phone? How many hours watching videos that teach you nothing? How many hours playing games that do not help your future? At the moment, it feels easy. It feels fun. But at the end of the day, what do you have? Nothing but regret. Now compare that with 1 hour of discipline. You study English words, you write in a notebook, you read a small story, you exercise your body, you learn something new. At the end of the day, you feel tired, but also proud. That pride is the fruit of discipline. My friend, remember this truth. The pain of discipline is smaller than the pain of regret. Discipline asks for effort today. Regret asks for suffering tomorrow. Which pain will you choose? Daniel chose the pain of discipline. At first, it was difficult. He wanted to stay in bed. He wanted to watch TV. But he reminded himself, "If I do nothing today, I will cry tomorrow." That thought gave him strength. Step by step, his small habits became easier. The walking became part of his body. The studying became part of his mind. The reading became part of his soul. Aaron chose the pain of regret. At first, it felt comfortable. Sleeping late felt good. Playing games felt fun. But as weeks passed, he looked in the mirror and saw no change. His body felt weak. His English did not improve. His dreams stayed far away. And his heart felt heavy. Discipline builds your life. Distraction steals your life. It is as simple as that. Let me give you a picture. Imagine two rivers. One river flows slowly but strongly. It cuts through rock. It waters the land. It gives life. This river is discipline. The other river is wild, jumping here and there, breaking, wasting, flooding. It destroys instead of giving life. This river is distraction. Which river do you want to follow? The river of discipline may move slowly, but it takes you far. The river of distraction may look exciting, but it leaves you lost. Here is another way to see it. Think of your phone. Your phone can be your teacher or your thief. If you use it to watch English lessons, to read books, to listen to useful podcasts, it becomes your teacher. But if you use it only for endless scrolling and empty videos, it becomes your thief. Every minute stolen by your phone is a minute stolen from your future. Daniel used his phone as a tool. Aaron let his phone use him. That was the difference. Now, how can you build discipline? The answer is simple. Start small. Do not say, "I will study English for 5 hours." Number. Say, "I will study English for 15 minutes today." Do not say, "I will read 50 pages." Say, "I will read 1 page." Discipline grows like a muscle. If you lift a heavy weight too soon, you hurt yourself. But if you lift a small weight every day, you grow strong. Soon, you can lift more. Discipline is the same. Daniel understood this. That is why his small daily actions became habits, and habits became his power. Aaron did not understand. He waited for big motivation. He said, "When I feel inspired, I will act." But the inspiration never came. Without small daily steps, nothing changed. So I ask you now, which path will you take? Will you waste your life in distractions, or will you save your life with discipline? Remember this. Discipline is love for your future self. Every page you read, every word you learn, every step you walk is a gift to the person you will be tomorrow. And that person will thank you. So, my dear friend, do not be afraid of discipline. Welcome it. Make it part of your days. Choose small habits and protect them like treasure. Because small discipline today creates big freedom tomorrow. And yet, even discipline needs something more. You can push yourself only so far. To stay strong, you need a reason. You need a why. You need a purpose. So let us now move to the next step. Because discipline is hard without purpose. We must find meaning. My dear friend, we have walked through responsibility and we have seen the power of discipline. But still, a question remains. Why? Why should you wake up early? Why should you study when you feel tired? Why should you push yourself when the world says, "Relax"? The answer is simple and powerful. The answer is purpose. Let me tell you a story about Maria. Maria was a young woman who lived in a small town. Every day she worked at a shop, and every evening she came home tired. For a long time she lived without purpose. She passed the days doing what others told her. but her heart felt empty. She did not study, she did not dream, she only survived. One day, Maria's younger brother came to her and said, "Sister, I want to study in another country, but I need help. I cannot do it alone." At that moment, something woke inside Maria. She thought, if I can learn English, if I can earn more, I can help my brother. I can open doors for both of us. That thought became her purpose. And with purpose, everything changed. Before, Maria hated mornings. Now she woke up early. Before, she wasted her evenings watching endless TV. Now she opened her English book. Before, she thought, I cannot do this. Now she thought, I must do this because someone I love depends on me. This is the power of purpose. Without purpose, life feels heavy. Every task feels boring. Every struggle feels too big. But with purpose, even the hardest work feels meaningful. The same book that once looked like a mountain now becomes a bridge. The same pain that once felt like punishment now feels like training. Think of two men carrying stones. One man is told, carry these stones all day and at the end, throw them in the river. His back hurts. His heart feels empty. He hates every minute. The other man is told, carry these stones to build a home for your family. His back also hurts, but his heart feels full. He smiles because every stone is part of his dream. The weight is the same, but the meaning is different. That meaning is purpose. Now think of your own life. Why are you learning English? Is it just to pass an exam? Or is it something deeper? Maybe you want to travel and speak with people around the world. Maybe you want to get a better job to support your family. Maybe you want to build confidence and feel proud of yourself. Whatever it is, that is your purpose. And when you remember it, discipline becomes easier. Let us return to Maria. At first, her English was very weak. She could not understand long sentences. She made mistakes when speaking. Many times, she felt shy. But then she remembered her purpose. She saw her brother's hopeful face. She thought of his dream. And with that thought, she picked up her book again. Her purpose gave her energy. On the other side of town, there was her friend Carla. Carla also said she wanted to learn English, but she did not have a strong why. She only said, it would be nice to know English someday. Because her purpose was weak, her motivation was weak. She studied for a week, then stopped. She bought a book, but never opened it. She said, maybe later. Later never came. Do you see the difference? Maria and Carla had the same chance, but one had a strong why and one did not. The result was not the same. Maria grew. Carla stayed the same. Purpose is not only for language, purpose is for life. If you live without purpose, every day feels empty. You wake up without fire. You go to bed without peace. But when you live with purpose, your eyes shine. Your steps are strong. Even on hard days, you know why you keep going. My friend, I ask you now, what is your purpose? Take a moment. Think of one reason you want to learn, grow, and not waste your life. Write it down if you can. Keep it close. Let it guide you. Because when you feel tired, your purpose will whisper, keep going. Here is the lesson. Purpose gives energy. Discipline gives structure. Responsibility gives ownership. But purpose gives fire. Without fire, the engine of your life does not move. With fire, you can travel far. Do not worry if your purpose is simple. A small purpose can still light a big fire. Maybe your purpose is to understand your favorite English song. Maybe it is to travel to one new country. Maybe it is to read one book without translation. That is enough. Start with that. And as you grow, your purpose will grow too. Maria's small purpose, helping her brother, later became bigger. With English, she found better work. With better work, she supported her family. With support, her brother studied abroad. Her purpose grew into a mission, and her mission gave her life meaning. So remember, an empty life is not only about wasting time, it is also about living without purpose. Do not let that be your story. Find your why. Hold it in your heart. Let it push you on days when you feel weak. Let it remind you that your struggle is not wasted. Because with purpose, even pain becomes useful, and mistakes become lessons. Welcome back, my friend. We have seen responsibility, discipline, and purpose. Now we reach an important step: learning from failure. Failure is not the end. It is a teacher, a guide, a mirror showing where we can grow. Let me tell you a story about Daniel again. After he found his purpose and began studying English, he faced a big challenge. His teacher gave a test, and it was not easy. Daniel tried his best, but he failed. His heart sank. He felt heavy. He thought, I am not good enough. Maybe I cannot do this. Maybe I should give up. At home, he sat alone in his room. The paper with red marks was on the table. He looked at it and wanted to throw it away. Tears came to his eyes. He felt small, weak, and lost. For a moment, he thought all his effort was wasted. But then he remembered his purpose. He thought of his dream, of learning English, of opening doors to a better future. He thought of every small step he had already taken. And slowly, he realized something. Failure was not the opposite of success. Failure was part of it. Failure was a lesson in disguise. Daniel took the paper again. He read his mistakes carefully. He asked himself, why did I make this mistake? What can I learn from it? He wrote notes, corrected errors, and studied harder the next day. He did not blame anyone. He did not give excuses. He took responsibility and learned from what went wrong. The next test came, and Daniel passed. Not perfectly, but much better. And he felt proud, not just of the grade, but of himself. He had turned failure into a teacher. Now let us see contrast. Daniel's friend, Aaron, also failed a test, but he reacted differently. He shouted, "This is not fair! The teacher hates me. The questions are impossible. I cannot do this." Then he put the paper away and stopped studying. He gave up. Weeks passed, and his mistakes remained mistakes. His failure did not teach him anything because he did not pay attention. He ran away from the lesson. Do you see the difference? Daniel saw failure as a bridge. Aaron saw failure as a wall. One builds, the other stops. One grows, the other remains the same. Failure is a natural part of life. Everyone fails. Every person you admire has failed many times. Even the greatest English speakers, the richest people, the best athletes, they failed. They fell, they made mistakes, but they reflected, they learned, they continued. That is why they succeeded. Think of failure like rain. At first, it may feel cold and wet. You may get dirty, you may feel uncomfortable. But the rain waters the ground. It makes the seeds grow. If you run from the rain, the seeds die. If you stop learning because of failure, your growth dies. But if you stay and reflect, your life grows stronger. Daniel also learned another lesson. Mistakes are not permanent. A bad test does not define your future. A failed conversation does not destroy your confidence. A missed opportunity is not the end. Every time you fall, you have a choice. Lie on the ground or stand up and learn. My friend, sometimes failure feels painful. It feels like a heavy stone in your chest. But if you pick it up carefully, examine it, and learn from it, it becomes a tool. You can use it to build your future. You can turn red marks into golden lessons. You can turn tears into strength. Imagine if Daniel had quit after his first failure. He would have lost his motivation. He would have lost his small daily habits. He would have wasted months of learning. But by choosing to learn, he not only improved his English, he also built his confidence and resilience. Aaron, meanwhile, wasted his chance. The pain of quitting is temporary, but the regret grows slowly. The pain of ignoring failure is quiet at first, but it follows you like a shadow. Daniel's pain of failure was short. Aaron's pain of failure lasted for months, even years. Every failure is a lesson waiting for you. A failed sentence, a wrong word, a misunderstanding. These are teachers. They are not enemies. They are showing you where you can improve. Every mistake contains a map for growth if you are willing to read it. Daniel also discovered another truth. Learning from failure is connected to hope. If you fail and give up, you lose hope. If you fail and learn, hope grows. Hope is the light that guides you through mistakes. It tells you, try again, try smarter, try stronger. So remember, my friend, do not fear mistakes. Do not hide from failure. When you fail, look closely. Ask questions. Learn what is hidden in the error. Let every failure teach you something valuable. Because one day, when you look back, you will see that the failures were not obstacles. They were steps. They were teachers. They were part of your journey towards success, confidence, and mastery. Daniel's first failed test was painful, but it became a treasure. His small efforts, his reflection, his learning, turned the red marks into gold. And that is why failure is a teacher, if you are willing to learn. But even with failure, we must keep hope alive. Welcome back, my friend. We have learned responsibility, discipline, purpose, and how to learn from failure. Now, we come to one of the most important lessons of all, the gift of time. Time is life itself. How you use it shapes your future. Let me tell you a story. Daniel, who has learned responsibility, discipline, purpose, and reflection, now faces a simple, everyday choice. How to spend 1 hour. 1 hour may seem small, but it is powerful. One morning, Daniel had an hour free before lunch. He could spend it scrolling on his phone, watching videos, or sleeping. That would feel easy and fun. Or he could use it to practice English, read a story, or take a walk and think about his life. That would feel hard at first. Daniel remembered his purpose and his lessons. He chose to use the hour wisely. He practiced English words for 20 minutes. He read a short story for 20 minutes. He walked outside for 20 minutes thinking about his goals. When the hour ended, Daniel felt tired, but also strong and proud. He felt that he had grown. He had invested time in himself. At the same moment, his friend Aaron also had 1 free hour. Aaron chose comfort. He lay on his bed scrolling on his phone. Videos, social media, games. He did not notice the time passing. The hour disappeared like water through fingers. Aaron felt entertained, but at the end he felt empty and regretful. He had wasted a chance to grow. This is the difference. 1 hour can create progress or waste. 1 hour can plant a seed or let it die. 1 hour can build your dream or bury it. Time is more valuable than gold. Money can come and go. Jobs can change. People can leave. But time, once it passes, never returns. Every second you waste is a second you cannot take back. Every minute you use wisely becomes part of your strength. Think of life like a garden. Every hour is a seed. Some seeds are small. Some seeds are large. If you plant seeds daily, practice English, read, think, reflect, they grow into strong trees over time. But if you leave seeds in the bag, if you do nothing, the garden stays empty. The soil is wasted. The sun is wasted. The rain falls on nothing. Daniel began to see this clearly. He understood that even small actions add up. 10 minutes of learning every day may seem small, but after a month, it is 5 hours. After a year, it is 60 hours. That is 60 hours of knowledge, practice, and growth. That is 60 hours of life invested. Aaron, meanwhile, ignored small hours. He thought, 1 hour is nothing. But every hour passed, every day passed, and nothing grew. By the end of the year, he had wasted hundreds of hours. And he realized too late that time is a gift, not a toy. We all have the same hours each day, 24 hours. The question is, what do we do with them? Do we spend them mindlessly, or do we spend them wisely? Every minute is a chance to grow. Every second is a chance to move forward. Daniel also learned another truth. Time gives opportunities, but only if we act. Sitting and waiting does not bring results. Using time with care brings results. He saw that the small hour in the morning was more powerful than an entire weekend of laziness. 1 hour, focused and disciplined, can change your path. Imagine 2 people on a journey. One person walks every day, even a short distance. The other person waits for inspiration, sleeps late, or distracts themselves. After a month, the first person is far ahead. The second person is still where they started. Time does not wait for anyone. It flows for those who use it, and it passes for those who ignore it. So, my friend, see every hour as a treasure. Even small actions matter. Learning 5 words of English, reading 1 paragraph, taking a short walk, these are not small. These are gifts you give to your future self. These are seeds that grow slowly but surely. And remember, using time wisely is not only for study, it can be for thinking, for helping others, for practicing kindness, for learning about life. Every hour invested in growth makes life stronger. Every hour wasted makes life weaker. Daniel and Aaron show us 2 paths. Daniel sees the value of each hour and grows steadily. Aaron ignores time, and slowly, regret builds. The choice is yours. Every day is a chance. Every hour is a seed. Plant wisely. And seeds grow best when we stay patient. Welcome back, my friend. We have learned responsibility, discipline, purpose, and the value of time. Now we must understand one more lesson: patience. Growth takes time, and patience is the bridge between effort and success. Let me tell you a story about Daniel and a small tree. Daniel planted a tiny seed in his backyard. He watered it, gave it sunlight, and protected it from animals. Every day he looked at it. At first, nothing happened. Days passed, weeks passed. Daniel wanted the tree to grow quickly, but it did not. He felt impatient. Why is it so slow? He thought. Then, one morning, a small green sprout appeared. Daniel smiled, but he knew the tree had many years to grow before it would give fruit. The small seed needed time. The small sprout needed care. The tree needed patience. Daniel realized that learning English is very similar. At first, words are difficult. Grammar is confusing. Speaking feels strange. Progress seems slow. Many people give up. They want fast results, quick pleasure, or instant success. But life does not work like that. Just like the tree, learning takes time. Daniel remembered his purpose. He remembered his daily discipline. He kept studying English every day. He practiced speaking, reading, and listening. Some days were easy, some days were hard, some days he felt he learned nothing, but he kept going. Because he knew that small steps every day would become big results over time. Contrast this with Aaron. Aaron wanted quick success. He wanted to speak English perfectly in 1 month. He wanted to finish a book in 1 day. When things became slow or hard, he quit. The tree in his mind never grew. The seeds of knowledge were left in the bag. He searched for shortcuts, but shortcuts often led to nothing. Patience is not waiting without action. Patience is working steadily, knowing that growth takes time. Daniel learned that every small effort, learning 5 words, reading a paragraph, writing a sentence, was like a drop of water for his tree. Over time, these small drops made his knowledge grow. My friend, imagine the pleasure of scrolling videos or playing games. It is fast, easy, and entertaining. You feel happy for a moment. But this pleasure is short. It disappears quickly, leaving no growth. Now imagine speaking English confidently, understanding a story, reading a book. It takes months. It feels slow. It is hard. But the reward is deep, lasting, and real. Daniel also learned that patience brings confidence. Every day he saw small changes. He could understand 1 new word, read 1 sentence without help, or speak a small phrase correctly. These small successes motivated him to continue. Each step was proof that patience works. Each step was a victory. Patience also builds strength. A tree that grows slowly becomes strong. Its roots go deep. Its trunk becomes solid. Storms cannot easily break it. A learner who grows slowly builds strong habits. Mistakes do not destroy them. Challenges do not shake them. Patience gives resilience. Sometimes Daniel felt frustrated. Sometimes he wanted to quit. But he remembered the tree and his purpose. He reminded himself, I cannot see all my progress now, but I know it is happening. I am building something lasting. This thought kept him steady. Aaron, again, shows the contrast. He wanted immediate results. When learning felt slow, he felt bored. When speaking was hard, he felt shy. When reading was confusing, he gave up. The tree in his mind withered. The garden of his life remained empty. Patience also teaches humility. You learn that growth is a process, not an instant gift. You respect the time, the effort, and the journey. You celebrate small victories. You understand that success is built slowly, day by day, hour by hour, choice by choice. Daniel's story reminds us, your life, your English, your skills are like a tree. They start small. They need care. They need daily effort. They need protection from distractions. They need patience. And over time, you will see branches, leaves, and fruit. So, my friend, do not rush. Do not compare your journey with others. Do not quit because the path feels slow. Every hour of study, every step of effort, every small act of courage is a part of your growth. Patience turns small steps into a big journey. And remember, patience alone is not enough. A tree grows slowly, but it also faces storms. A learner grows slowly, but challenges appear. To keep growing, you need another quality, courage. Patience is steady, courage is bold, and together they can take you far. But patience must walk together with courage. Welcome back, my friend. We have learned responsibility, discipline, purpose, the value of time, patience, and growth. Now we arrive at a critical lesson. Courage. Courage is the bridge between knowing what to do and actually doing it. Without courage, knowledge, purpose, and habits are like seeds that never bloom. Let me tell you a story about Daniel. He had learned so much. He had built discipline, found his purpose, and used his time wisely. He practiced English every day. He read stories, learned words, and spoke softly to himself. But one thing remained hard for him: speaking with others. Daniel felt fear. He was afraid of making mistakes. He was afraid people would laugh. He was afraid of failing. Many nights he stayed silent, thinking, I am not ready yet. I will try later. Later never came. His fear held him back. Contrast this with Maria. Maria also learned English. She wanted to help her brother and grow her skills, but she made a different choice. She decided to speak even if she made mistakes. She joined a small group online. She practiced sentences aloud. She asked questions. Sometimes she mispronounced words. Sometimes she forgot grammar. But she did not stop. Every day Maria grew a little braver. Her sentences became longer. Her confidence increased. Her fear did not disappear completely, but it became smaller. And with courage, she began to live fully. Daniel watched Maria and felt inspired. He realized that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting despite fear. Courage is stepping forward when the heart trembles. Daniel decided to try. The next day, he spoke to his teacher. He stumbled over words, but he kept talking. He joined an online conversation club. He asked questions, listened carefully, and responded. Every attempt felt difficult. Every word felt heavy. But he felt alive. He felt proud. He felt free. Courage transforms life. Without it, you remain safe but small. You may stay in your room, watch videos, and avoid mistakes. But your dreams remain locked inside. You may feel comfortable today, but tomorrow you will feel regret. Aaron, his friend, shows the other side. Aaron feared failure. He feared being wrong. He feared trying. So he stayed silent. He did not ask questions. He did not speak. He did not act. Every day he learned less. Every day he grew more afraid. His life became smaller, not larger. Fear is natural. Everyone feels it. Even great speakers, leaders, and successful people feel fear. The difference is what they do with it. Fear is a signal, not a prison. It tells you, this matters. This is worth trying. Courage says, I will act anyway. Imagine standing on a stage. Your heart beats fast. Your hands shake. You're about to speak English in front of others. You could step back and stay safe. That is comfortable. Or you could step forward, say your words, even if imperfectly, and live fully. That is courage. That step changes everything. Daniel learned another lesson. Courage grows with action. Each time he spoke, fear became smaller. Each time he tried, confidence grew. Mistakes no longer stopped him. They taught him. Each step of courage built strength for the next step. Courage is also connected to other lessons we learned. Responsibility gives you ownership, but courage lets you use it. Discipline gives you habits, but courage lets you act on them. Purpose gives you a why, but courage lets you follow it. Patience gives you time, but courage lets you use that time fully. My friend, think of your life like a story. Without courage, it is a story written in silence. With courage, it is a story written with action, with voice, with color. Every word you speak, every step you take, every effort you make adds meaning. Every act of courage moves your life forward. Daniel now understood that life without courage is wasted life. Comfort may feel safe, but it does not grow skills, confidence, or character. Action, even with mistakes, creates growth, joy, and transformation. So, my dear friend, ask yourself, where are you holding back? What is one small act of courage you can take today? Speak a sentence, ask a question, try something new. Step forward despite fear. Each step matters. Each act builds strength. Courage is not easy. It is not always comfortable, but it is necessary. Because a life without courage is a life half-lived. A life half-lived is a life wasted. Daniel and Maria show us the way. They show that fear is natural, mistakes are normal, and courage is a choice. You can choose courage today. You can speak, act, and live fully. Every small step adds up. Every word spoken, every action taken transforms your life. And when you embrace courage, you discover the final lesson: transformation. Welcome back, my friend. We have walked a long journey together. We have seen how an empty life can feel easy at first, but heavy later. We have felt the wake-up call, learned responsibility, built discipline, discovered purpose, reflected on failure, valued time, practiced patience, and embraced courage. Now we arrive at the most beautiful step: transformation. Let me tell you the story of Daniel and Maria once again. These young people were not born with perfect habits, wisdom, or courage. At the beginning, Daniel spent hours scrolling on his phone, watching shows and avoiding learning. Maria was tired and passive, doing only what life forced her to do. Their days were full of distractions, comfort, and empty routines. They felt safe in laziness, but deep inside, something was missing. One day, both of them faced a wake-up call. Daniel saw friends his age achieving things he dreamed of. Maria saw her brother struggling and needing her support. They realized that life would not wait. Time was moving and their chances were slipping. They felt fear, pain, and a mix of hope. This moment changed everything. Awareness became their first step. Daniel chose responsibility. He said, "This is my life. I must act. I cannot wait for others to push me." He stopped blaming others, stopped making excuses, and began taking small actions every day. Maria did the same. She realized her small choices mattered and that she could shape her future. Responsibility gave them control over their lives. Then came discipline. Daniel practiced English every day, even for a short time. He read stories, wrote notes, and walked while thinking about his goals. Maria practiced too. They both felt the pain of effort, but they also felt growth. Discipline turned small daily actions into habits, and habits slowly became their strength. Purpose entered their lives. Daniel thought of his dream to travel and speak English confidently. Maria wanted to help her brother and open doors for her family. With purpose, every task felt meaningful. The same books, the same words, the same small steps now had a reason. Purpose gave them energy to keep going, even when learning felt hard. I want you to see the power of failure. Daniel failed exams. He made mistakes in English. Sometimes he stumbled in conversations. But he chose to learn. He reflected, corrected errors, and tried again. Maria made mistakes too, but she kept speaking, practicing, and growing. Failure became a teacher, not a jailer. Every mistake gave them new knowledge, new experience, and new confidence. Time became a treasure. Every hour mattered. Daniel learned that even 1 hour of focused study or reflection could plant seeds for the future. Maria saw the same. They contrasted their productive hours with wasted hours in the past. Slowly, day by day, these small investments multiplied. What once seemed impossible became possible. Every day became a chance to grow, to learn, to move closer to their dreams. Patience was another gift. They realized that growth is slow. A tree does not give fruit the first day. A learner does not speak fluently the first week. Daniel and Maria stayed consistent, understanding that small, patient steps lead to great results. They celebrated small victories, a word learned, a sentence spoken, a concept understood. Patience turned small steps into a long, successful journey. And courage brought them alive. Speaking English to others, making mistakes, asking questions, these actions required bravery. Fear was always there, but they acted anyway. They understood that courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to act despite it. Every act of courage strengthened their confidence, opened new doors, and transformed their mindset. Now, let us see the contrast clearly. At the beginning, Daniel and Maria were like empty gardens. Weeds of distraction and laziness filled their days. Time slipped through their hands. Energy went to nothing. Dreams remained locked away. They were safe but small. They were passive and powerless. Today, after responsibility, discipline, purpose, learning from failure, valuing time, patience, and courage, everything changed. Their lives became gardens full of growth. Seeds of knowledge blossomed into flowers of skill. Habits became strong roots. Small daily actions became sturdy branches. Every step of courage and learning created fruits of success and confidence. Daniel can now read a story in English without help. He can speak a few sentences confidently. He listens to podcasts and understands more each day. He feels alive. He feels proud. Maria helps her brother and also grows herself. She practices English daily, reads books, and faces challenges with determination. Their past laziness and fear have been transformed into growth, learning, and meaning. This transformation is not magic. It is not instant. It is built step by step. Every small action, every responsible choice, every disciplined hour, every purpose-driven step, every learned failure, every moment of patience, and every courageous act adds together. Over time, they create a life of meaning, strength, and joy. My friend, your story can change too. You can start today. No matter your age, your background, or your past mistakes, you can choose responsibility. You can practice discipline. You can find your purpose. You can learn from failure. You can value your time. You can stay patient. You can act with courage. And every choice builds your transformation. Imagine your life a year from now. Imagine learning a new language, speaking confidently, opening doors you never thought possible. Imagine helping others, achieving small goals, feeling proud of yourself. All of this is possible because transformation is not about perfection. It is about consistent, meaningful action. It is about choosing growth over comfort, courage over fear, purpose over emptiness. Daniel and Maria are living proof. They were once lost in distraction and fear. They were once unsure and hesitant. But now their lives are full of meaning. Their small daily steps have grown into big achievements. Their mistakes have become lessons. Their fear has become courage. Their empty hours have become seeds of success. And my friend, you can do the same. Every lesson we discussed, the responsibility to act, the discipline to keep going, the purpose to guide you, the wisdom from failure, the treasure of time, the patience to endure, and the courage to try, these are tools you carry right now. Use them, apply them, every day, and step by step your life will transform. Transformation is the reward of those who do not waste life. It is the proof that anyone can change their story. It shows that a life once empty can become full. A life once fearful can become brave. A life once distracted can become focused. A life once wasted can become meaningful. So now, my friend, remember this. Your life is not fixed. Your past mistakes, wasted hours, and fears do not define you. What defines you is what you choose today, what seeds you plant now, and how you act in every moment. Transformation is possible for everyone. including you. Now it is your turn. Step forward with responsibility, build discipline, find your purpose, learn from mistakes, value every hour, stay patient, and act with courage. Plant your seeds, tend your garden, speak, learn, and grow. And over time, your life, like Daniel's and Maria's, will become a story of success, learning, and hope. Dear friend, we have traveled together through a journey of life and learning. You have seen how an empty life can feel safe but heavy. You have learned the power of responsibility, the strength of discipline, the energy of purpose, the lessons in failure, the treasure of time, the patience to grow, and the courage to act. Each step builds your life. Each step shapes your future. Now, I want to speak directly to you. Do not waste your life. Do not wait for the perfect moment to start. That moment may never come. Begin today. Start with small steps. Use your time wisely. Every hour you invest in learning, growing, and acting brings you closer to your dreams. Even one small step matters. Think about English learning as your daily practice, your tool for growth. Every word you learn, every sentence you read, every time you speak aloud, you are planting seeds for your future. These seeds will grow into knowledge, confidence, and opportunity. One day, you will look back and see how far you have come. You will see that small, consistent actions created a life full of meaning. Remember Daniel and Maria. They were once like anyone else, distracted, unsure, afraid. They wasted hours, doubted themselves, and feared mistakes. But they chose differently. They acted with responsibility. They built discipline. They found their purpose. They learned from failure. They valued time, stayed patient, and embraced courage. And today, their lives are full of growth, confidence, and achievement. If they can change their story, so can you. Do not let fear stop you. Do not let comfort hold you back. Every mistake is a lesson. Every challenge is a chance. Every small effort counts. Take responsibility for your life. Use your time wisely. Find your why. Practice daily. Be patient. Speak with courage. Step forward even when it is difficult. Transformation comes to those who act. Transformation comes to those who keep learning every day. And remember, growth is a journey, not a destination. You do not need to do everything perfectly. You just need to keep moving forward. Every word learned, every sentence spoken, every small choice adds up. Slowly, steadily, day by day, you will build a life of meaning, a life of learning, a life of purpose. So, my friend, begin today. Start now. Pick one small step. Learn a word, read a sentence, speak to someone, write a line. Let English learning be your path to growth. Let it guide you to responsibility, discipline, patience, courage, and transformation. Your life is your story. You can write it with wisdom, with purpose, with energy, and with hope. Small actions every day create a future worth living. Do not wait. Start today. Live fully. Learn boldly. Transform your life.